The Kingdom of Bahrain has a rich, deeply rooted heritage and culture. In this episode, we present all the customs, traditions, and arts of marriage in Bahrain. Marriage is one of the most important and critical social structures in a person's life and in society. A person's marriage may sometimes be successful and sometimes not. Marriage is a legal bond between both sexes. This bond must be realized within limits determined by society and according to the conditions laid down by that society. The system of marriage has developed alongside the development of social life and has changed in conjunction with the changes which have occurred throughout different eras. Customs and traditions have changed along with the changes in human society. We will now elaborate on marriage customs and traditions.
Listen to me. When you hear about a pretty girl who comes from a decent family, let me know. And don't tell the boy.
By God's will, I will do as you say. The mother of the groom goes to a gathering with some women from the neighborhood for the purpose of making al-maradah. Who's that girl? Who are her parents? I don't know. Let us go in and see. Al-maradah is a type of woman singing and dancing that's performed on joyful and happy occasions. Al-maradah is also one of the ways that can lead to a wedding engagement. Many families are invited to an esteemed man's house to view this beautiful public performance. They bring their daughters, and therefore there are many young girls of marriageable age present. This gives the family of a person who intends to marry the opportunity to see and meet many girls, and by doing so avoid the necessity of sending the matchmaker to many different places to look for a girl who meets the requirements the family wish to see in their son's bride.
وتخلي لسنينا سلم لنا حمد وتخلي لسنينا وتخلي لسنينا سلم لنا حمد وتخلي لسنينا.
Don't you want to meet Nasser? I really like the girl you have told me about. Do you know her parents well? They are neighbors of my sister-in-law's family. Let me ask them and get back to you. If your sister-in-law says good things about them, then tell them we would like to visit them tomorrow. Of course, God willing. The next step is contracting the legal procedure for the marriage. This occurs after the girl has already been chosen. This stage takes place in the sheikh's house, which is called, in the common language, al-mutawwa. The fathers of the groom and the bride, their relatives and friends, gather as well as some men from the area to the purpose of holding the marriage. The legal procedure and the marriage normally take place on the same day. In some families, the wife or bride is not informed of her wedding night until the last moment. By the way, the Al-Daza dance is tomorrow. We have little time left. Keep up the good work. Everything shall be fine, God willing. Boys of the neighborhood participate in the marriage preparations by cleaning and preparing the lamps for the groom's celebrations. All the neighbors are enthusiastic about helping the married couple. The men, women, and children participate in carrying furniture to the bride's house. Some families provide the carpets, mirrors, and cushions. These families help by preparing many different items so that the couple can maintain a proper appearance for the wedding. In the course of conducting preparations for the wedding night, women sew the embroidered clothes for the bride. Thank you so much. You have done all you can. Never mind. We have just done our best. Dear girl, you will move now to your husband's house. A man needs a woman who will care for and cherish him, so that he can also care for and cherish her. The nursemaid or the housekeeper in the bride's house, the woman who has raised the girl or the bride from early childhood until the moment of her union with her husband, shall provide advice and guidance for the girl, and also help her to wear the proper makeup on her wedding night. The nursemaid usually follows the bride to her husband's house to live with her, even after the marriage. Dear girl, this man will be the father of your children. Don't be intimidated. Just listen to what I tell you, and by God's will, you shall lead a joyful and comfortable life. If you have a boy, name him after your father, after you consult with your husband. Of course, ma'am, by God's will. Dearest, tomorrow you will be with him. Oh, you grew so quickly. We will miss you. Some Bahraini families choose one day of the marriage week to perform al-yalwa. This is a woman's pre-marriage celebration. Some women who specialize in singing the al-yalwa and reciting verses about the Holy Prophet's birthday are invited. Their leader is called al-mutawwa'a, as she's a woman who reads the poems. During al-yalwa, the bride sits timidly on a chair or anything higher than the floor and puts her palms on her knees. The woman guests hold a green sheet over her and wave it up and down. The bride wears special jewelry that is traditionally worn at weddings and engagement parties. Some of the names of these pieces of jewelry are al-banjari, al-gubgub, al-mgammash, and al-saraya. The groom's wedding celebration commences after the evening prayer with the guests moving away in regular lines. The groom, his father, the father of the bride, and their relatives stand in the first line while the public band follow and entertain them. The members of the band sing a specific type of well-known traditional marriage songs. This kind of singing is called al-ashuri. These celebrations occur while the wedding party is walking through the neighborhood towards the bride's house. The boys of the neighborhood light the way with hand-held lamps. On the wedding night, in the bride's parents' house, an atmosphere of joy and celebration is created by the scent of incense and rosewater drops, and through the original public singing performed by the women's singing group. On another front, in the bride's house, women sing special marriage and wedding songs. When the groom's procession arrives, the door to the bride's house is opened. The groom is greeted with al-dazza singing as he enters and hurries directly to the room which has been specially prepared for the wedding. He is followed by his parents, relatives, and friends. The rushing entry of the groom expresses his shyness, which is considered traditional on these occasions. The groom remains in the bedroom after his parents and escorts leave. He waits for the bride, who is taken to him, carried in a special carpet. This carpet is a part of the bride's dowry granted to the groom. A group of women assist in carrying the carpet to al-dazza rhythm, which is sang, accompanied by exultations and shrills. The nursemaid brings the bride to her husband in the bedroom, then she leaves them, shutting the bedroom door. The groom prays to God, thanking him while kneeling on the bride's cloak. The marriage bedroom is called al-farsha, and it is specially prepared for the wedded couple. The room ceiling is covered by the al-damam, which is normally red with white patterns. A wooden bed and a brass decorated box, which is called the sleeping box, are put in the room. The nursemaid brings breakfast on the morning of the first day of marriage. Before she arrives, the husband gives his wife a present, which may be a bracelet or a piece of gold. The wedding lunch is called lajra and consists of meat and rice. It is cooked before the dawn prayer and is distributed in the morning among the people of the neighborhood. A carpet and cushions are put on the floor so that the parents of the groom and bride, as well as the women who are visiting, can offer congratulations and sit in comfort. Women gather in the bride's house to prepare for the celebration of sending her to her husband's house. They surround her with joy and singing in a procession passing through the neighborhood and heading to her husband's house. When the procession arrives, the groom's mother puts the clover or green grass oat on the door's threshold, indicating the wish of green days to come in the life path of the couple. As a good omen, the bride is usually asked to put her right leg first when she enters the house. This tradition is called al-hadiyah, the present.